opportunity.
By being involved, showing your kid you care, that if their grades aren't the greatest or if they're the best, that it doesn't really matter as long as they do their best and try their best. A lot of times, kids get discouraged by having bad grades. A lot of times they think they can't get through it, so they just they curl up in little balls and don't want to talk to anybody. So if you're very interactive with your kids and stay on them, ask them how their school day was, any problems as far as I do.
This is everything you ever wanted.
Always and forever, you always push your kids to do better. Because if you don't, then they'll never understand what it is to strive in life and go beyond and further what they expect themselves or think they can do.
One moment. Did you capture?
Yeah, but when that happens, I don't think any parent really knows. It just kind of comes to the kid or the teenager or the young adult, and then it comes also to the parent where it's time to let them do their own thing.
Like said in the interview, your parents are there to support you. Kids are given 18 years of childhood. That's it. Less than 2 decades before they are let out into what some may call a cruel, dark, and real world. Yes, many parents want their kids to do well in school and learn the compassion of hard work. But they also hope for them to jump and run and try new things and see what their niche is, to learn from failure. And sure, if they wind up at Yale and they're happy, a parent would be thrilled. And if they wind up collecting garbage and they're still happy, they will be thrilled too. As long as they learn what it takes to be happy and to live well. And that's just what a parent's job is, to coach their kids to be successful of doing well.
What is your idea of success in high school?
I believe high school success may be defined as fulfilling one's potential both academically, socially, and athletically. Success also can be defined as branching out into areas beyond a student's comfort zone, like possibly joining a club or trying out for a sport that they are not necessarily proficient in.
That's just what a parent's job is, to coach their kids to success.
Do you think it's hard to obtain the success, and why?
I think it's difficult to obtain success with high school peer pressure and the emotional growth that the student's going through in the 4 years that they attend high school.
God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come.
Do your friends have any effect on your success in high school?
Absolutely. A student's friends influence their behavior, individual behavior, and the development of positive social skills, as well as students' habits such as studying and doing their homework and working hard to achieve success.
High school is a time when many people realize who they are and what they want to be in the world. It's a time when your friends are made. You experience a bunch of change between the amount of freedom you're given and the many choices in which you are forced into taking. Friends will be by your side no matter what happens. There will always be someone ready to listen. But being a little selfish, you need to live outside the moment and think ahead. Friends will put you through the worst, stick by you through the best, and only the best friends will be there for you when you are needing someone the most. High school is a time when peer pressure from friends can make or break your success. One wrong move, without a doubt, will change the journey of your success. Keeping a positive and steady influence, like good friends in your life, and can help you have a easier and better outcome of success. You are the creator of your own friends, so choose them wisely. John Ron said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This quote is powerful. It will keep reminding yourself over and over again that the people who you associate with and share your life with, they are the ones who affect your personal success as well. It will keep reminding yourself that you are the average of 5 people that you spend the most time with. Others who surround you will determine how you think, how you act, and ultimately how successful you will be and want to be in the end.
At the most basic level, being a successful successful high school student varies, and it varies from student to student. So, for instance, for some students that I know, being successful means getting A's and B's in all their classes and focusing all their energies in that classes, studying homework, staying after school for extra help, and therefore the payoff there is being successful in those classes, and therefore what a student feels internally is, I'm doing what I want to be doing. For other students, there are different components to high school that helps drive them toward being considered a successful student. So, for example, another student might be getting B's and C's in all their classes, but participating in 2 or 3 sports, taking part in 2 or 3 different activities, being a school leader in different ways, being a positive peer role model. These are the things that might help some students define themselves as being successful, and they all work. At the end of the day, just because a student has all A's or doesn't have all A's does not necessarily mean that he or she is successful. So, and part of that is part of personal perception. I perceive myself to be someone that wants to be good at a whole things, a lot of different things, and have a variety of different experiences. And so that's the student that, again, is not necessarily receiving or earning all the A's across their classes, but having a really broad, all-around experience at high school.
Do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars. Come on in.
How does studying help you be successful in high school?
Studying teaches you a lot of different habits. A lot of times, studying is just kind of like, it's almost like someone that's into sports or someone that's into a healthy lifestyle preparing to keep that healthy lifestyle. So for someone, for instance, that goes to the gym, that's kind of like they're studying. The payoff here is what it does for their body. Studying, very similar. The analogy here is that studying helps the mind. It strengthens the mind. It reinforces skills or content that's shared in the classroom. Sometimes it exposes new concepts. And honestly, it also helps with self-discipline. Staying up with reading, working on writing, transferring ideas and understanding of concepts on paper or on a keyboard with a computer. A very helpful part of studying.
Forever young. May you stay.
Do you think having a good GPA will help you be successful in high school?
I don't think having a high GPA or a medium GPA or whatever a particular student situation is necessarily an indicator of success. And by that what I mean is there are a lot of other variables with a student that when they graduate high school, whether they go into college or they go right into the working world or they join the military, there's so many different other variables at stake here to say that yes, if a student has a 3.8, 3.9 or 4.0 GPA, then automatically they're going to be successful, and vice versa, because a student might have a 2.3 GPA, which is obviously lower than, let's say, a 3.9, well, because of the lower GPA, that doesn't mean, that means that student will not be as successful as the one that scores a higher GPA. You get far too many different factors at play here.
As most of you know, being successful in high school can be one of the most difficult things. To know that you are setting yourself up for your own future. The most important aspects of being successful in high school that the articles talk about are being organized, getting involved in extracurricular activities, and being academically stable. Although it might seem hard, you can strive to be successful in and outside of your high school career.
Times in our lives.
How do you think social media affects high school students emotionally?
I think it can affect them in a positive or in a negative way. Positive way, it will help them communicate with their peers, not only peers that are in, or people, anybody that is in the area where they live, but it could be anywhere around the world. It also gives them an outlet for their emotions and the freedom to express them. Sometimes it can even be done anonymously. So in that way, I think it's good for teenagers. The negative way is that also it can give them an outlet for their emotions, and they could be very angry and they can be very hurtful to others if they want to. The anonymity of it can also play a role in it because it can encourage bullying. There's this new app, Yik Yak, and it is it is being used as an outlet for bullying. So in that respect, I think that social media is can affect them in a negative way.
We all have sorrow.
If there wasn't social media, students would act differently, and why?
I think they would act differently. Social media is one thing that gives kids the opportunity to express themselves, but to do so behind a computer. And if you didn't have social media, they would have to talk to people in person and by phone. And it's a lot harder for people to express those thoughts in person than it is over a computer.
Lean on me
Parent,
when
if you
you're
could change one thing about social media, what would it be?
It would be parental controls. I think that a lot of this social media is geared for people over the age of 18, and kids are using it. And if the makers of these applications and these websites would acknowledge that it's being used by a lot of teenagers, and in doing that would put in place more parental controls so parents can go and regulate what their kids are doing a little bit, it might help someone to decrease a lot of the negative aspects of social media.